855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Accelerated Graphics and Signs, 101 East Renfro, Suite C in Burleson, Texas, can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Signs can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Suite C in Burleson, Texas, go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
I got the girl thing going on, it's a whirlwind. Our shoes and thongs, I'm overflowing with chiffon, and I dress myself to my favorite songs. I got the girl thing through and through. I want the diamond ring and pearls too. I need the whole shebang, something borrowed and blue, till death do us part, and lots of I love yous. It's a girl thing, try to understand. It's not a me thing, no different than my friends. I get what I want, and I want it back, and it's a girl thing. Ooh, it's a girl thing. I got the girl thing down the path, red wine is my drink. Imagine that warm bubbles flowing in my bath. When I put my jeans on, I ask if I love that. It's a girl thing. Try to understand, it's not a me thing. No different than my friends. I get what I want, and I want it back. And it's a girl thing. Ooh, it's a girl thing. I need a girl thing tonight. Gather the girlfriends for a really good time. Hit the dance floor till morning light. When tomorrow comes, we'll have something to hide. It's a girl thing. Try to understand, it's not a me thing. No different than my friends. I get what I want, and I want it back. And it's a girl thing. Come on, girls. Yeah, it's a girl thing. Try to understand, it's not a me thing. No different than my friends. I get what I want, and I want it back. And it's a girl thing. Ooh, it's a girl thing. You're always on the couch, smoking cigarettes. When I walk in the door, I've had another long day, my feet are sore, but I gotta pay the rent. 'Cause you damn sure ain't been blessed with a paying job today. You just sit there in your selfish way, as if I was a nobody, baby. Just a nobody, baby. Stop looking right through me. Take a look at the new me. This is somebody, baby. You're lying in our bed, watching reality TV. When I walk in the door, I'm ready for some love and more. I slip in bed close to you. I can't believe you'd rather watch the tube than makes me love to me. Do I only exist in your dreams? As if I was a nobody, baby. Just a nobody, baby. Stop looking right through me. Take a look at the new me. This is somebody, baby. The house is empty tonight, and the cloud of smoke has cleared. 'Cause I've changed the locks on every door. I won't be invisible anymore. As if I was a nobody, baby. Just a nobody, baby. Stop looking right through me. Take a look at the new me. 'Cause I'm somebody, baby. baby. Yeah, I'm somebody. I'm somebody. I'm somebody, baby. Baby. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tiffany Carlen with Nona Reed here on Joco Vibes on Joco Community Radio. Thanks for joining us this beautiful Thursday morning. And when I say beautiful, it is really beautiful out there.
It is.
It's the calm before the storm because tomorrow it's going to drop down into freezing temperatures with like a wintry mix.
Right.
Like, hello, Texas weather.
She's so bipolar.
Texas is Texas a she?
I'm going to say she's a she.
Okay. Man, that doesn't sound good for women.
I mean, she's pretty strong and independent.
True. This is true.
Or we could say he, because I've met some very bipolar.
And that is not a dig or a knock
Whatever.
at people with
no
It's-
with bipolar. Oh no, I'm
I know.
sorry.
Yeah. It's about the roller coaster of
Yeah.
the weather.
And everybody knows that. And if anybody takes it wrong,
something
I'm sorry.
you're just looking.
Yeah.
You're just looking. But some people are just looking. Some people are creeping and looking and
Yeah.
blah, whatever.
Have no life.
Yeah. But good morning.
Good morning.
It is Thankful Thursday. I'm going to say first and foremost, I'm thankful to God that I'm awake another day.
Correct.
Right, my feet hit my feet hit the floor this morning,
Although
and
slowly for me.
it was a little.
But he got me up.
It was somewhat slow for me, but just trying to deal with kids to get them
Right.
to go to school. That's just a whole nother level of gratitude. So, but it is a Thankful Thursday. If you've got someone that you want to highlight or something that you are just so incredibly thankful for, feel free to call in 817-637-2585 and tell us what you're thankful about on this beautiful day. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, if you're watching on any of our social media outlets, Facebook, YouTube, feel free to comment there what you're thankful for this beautiful day. And so we can rejoice with you, right? It's all about gratitude, and we want to celebrate with other people. So good morning, Brock. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, you fantabulous ladies, he says. Well, good morning, sir. I hope you're having an amazing day so far. If you haven't been tuning in or paying attention, there is a war going on in Ukraine. And, it's so funny. Watching the news this morning and them talking about a war going on in Ukraine. And all I can think of is this a war? Or was this an attack? An unwarranted attack from Russia, right? Like they're in the midst of war, but this is because they are unlawfully attacking this country and just going after it. But Russia air bombed a maternity. Oh, someone's calling in. You got to be plugged in though.
A suspected spam caller. We
Well,
want to try to put him on?
Sure, why not? This could be fun.
You're on the air. Welcome to Joco Radio. Oh, hello. You don't. It's unmuted.
Okay, well then it's a spammer.
And then they hung up. They're no fun. Gosh. Oops. Sorry.
I did something. I answered it really funny when Todd was in the car the other day. It said a spam caller, and I answered. I went no,
Just answered no.
and then I went, and then there's stay there, and you can hear like the call center in the background. I'm like, no, nope.
Well, I got one this morning.
That's all I did. I just went no. And they started to try and talk, and I said no, nope, and then I hung up and I blocked him.
So this morning, my phone rings. Odd number. 7:30. No, it's between 7:15.
Thanks for my fabulous coffee.
Oh, thank you. And I answer it, and it says you have $1,000 charge on your Amazon account. And I'm like, automatically, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is definitely a spam, but okay, let's play along. So I got him on, and then he starts talking about Social Security fraud and that a warrant's out for my arrest.
Those are my favorite.
And he's like, I need you to take this number down. Well, of course, he was trying to get me to offer him information, and I wouldn't. And then he said, I need you to take this number down. And I said, okay. Well, what I did is instead of getting pen and paper, I recorded the whole recording.
Uh-huh.
So he would say 3X. And I'd go 3X. And he'd go, no, 3X. I'd go 3X. No, 377. So then
Put
he
your mic down.
started giving me different numbers again. And I was like, okay. So then he gives me the warrant search number or whatever.
Oh, I
And
gotcha.
then I finally said, sir, I find it funny that when I answered the phone, it said I had a frivolous, charge on my Amazon. But when I got you, your Social Security office. So which are you? And he is like, and then he said something, and I said, so you're not answering my question? And then he goes, oh, well, a search warrant will be out for your arrest. I said, okay, good.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
And he hung up on me. I'm like, oh gosh,
I'll be
really
waiting for
serious?
Johnson County Sheriff's Department to come out. Get me.
Right.
Okay. So Todd was in the car with both boys, and this was a couple months ago. And he had no expectation of what was going to happen. He didn't even know this was going to happen. But Maverick is my 17-year-old. Maverick gets a spam call. And I'm assuming that the gentleman who called you this morning had an accent,
Uh-huh.
a foreign
Yep.
accent. And so Maverick answered the phone and he didn't tell Todd what he was going to do or anything. And he answers the call in that accent, in
Accent,
an
yes.
Indian accent that
Uh-huh.
I can't even pretend to be good at. He is just good at it, and it's funny.
That's awesome.
So he says, thank you for calling. Would you like my social security number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Todd was just talking about it again the other day. He goes, I will never. He's like, I will never forget this. I will never forget that moment in the car, and and forget how good Maverick did at that. So I like to I'll answer the phone sometimes, and especially if it's like the same one that I keep getting over and over and over again, and I'll answer it in a different, like, hi, I'm looking for Mike. No, it's not a good one for radio. I don't want to say that. I need
a clean one.
Yes, I need a clean one. And I can't think straight this week. I mean, really, really bad. I've got brain stuff going on.
That has been the craziest week for us. We both are not in sync with our.
I know, but
Usually-
you know what I'm talking about. Those,
Yes.
the name play ones,
Uh-huh.
right? And so when that's how I would do it. I would answer it like that. 30 minutes later, the guy would call back again. I'd give him a different one. And then 30 minutes later, he'd call me back. It happened. This is all within, he calls me about 4 times. And he goes, okay, you got another one? And I'd give him another one. I said, now stop calling me. And then he stopped calling me.
Well, that was nice.
But when I was a teenager and I was working at Midland Lumber, I worked down in the Ace Hardware section, and then we had the lumber, corporate office was up the steps. So I could see the receptionist who sat up there. I cannot think of her name right now. She was, she was old enough to be my grandmother.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sure she's no longer here. Maybe she is. I don't know. Could be very, very blessed in that way.
Yes.
Welcome to my life in spam calls. LOL.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Seriously funny. Good morning, Christina. So I'd come in on a good Saturday morning, and we would be really, really busy. And I worked after school every day too.
Mhm.
But I come in on a Saturday morning, and she was working, and she'd work till like 12, just answer the phone for like 4 hours, and then she would leave. So I would get down into my little checkout area, and then I would call her, when there was a little bit of a break in the line and I just had a few minutes, and I would call and I'd say, "Hi, my husband's there, and I told him that he's got the wrong screw size to get. Is there a way for you to possibly page him so I can talk to him and tell him what to get?" And she goes, "Yeah, no problem. What's his name?" And then I would do Mike or I just can't even think of any of the other ones right now. But I'm thinking of the very worst one possible. And my kids have come up with new ones too. So I would do that to her, and she'd come over the air and over the paging system, and she'd page so-and-so, and I would be dying. So the guys that worked like in the hardware department, like customer service, you'd see them like pop up over the thing like, "No, she didn't. She didn't just say that, right?" And then we just looking at each other, just laughing hysterically. And I would get her at least twice in the same day. And she would not.
She was just a sweet
Yes,
lady.
it was. It just, but it made it so fun, and it made it just so lighthearted.
Yeah.
In the workspace there, and everybody would just kind of enjoy it. And there's lots of non-dirty ones. I
Yeah.
just can't think of any of them right now. I can't pick them.
Which
Can't
is
pick 'em out
so
of my brain.
funny because you usually can.
No, this has been a rough week for my brain cells. Seriously. I don't know if it's allergies or what. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. I'm having a hard time pulling things out of my brain. So anyway, I don't even know how we got onto all that, but seriously funny stuff.
Because
So
the spam caller?
the spam caller. Oh yeah. We scrolled. So Russia air bombed, back to serious stuff. Russia air bombed a Ukrainian maternity hospital this morning or overnight. So lots of prayers for them. They were evacuating a lot of them. That area of Ukraine is, they're just really stuck. They really can't get out of where this area. I have to go pull it up because I can't remember the name of it right now. Shocker, because I can't remember anything right now at all. But they have no medicine. They have no access to food, water. I mean, they're really running out of everything that they have there. So I just and they now are creating a massive grave for people. So very, very similar to history, a repeat in history. So just so many prayers for the Ukrainian people and the country. And they tried peace talks, and nobody's budging, which in my opinion should just be, hey, Russia, go back home and leave these people alone. I mean, just, stop being a psycho, bored dictator, and, go get a life. Go get 5 more girlfriends, whatever it is that you need to do. And, set up a big, real, fake toy war thing and go have some fun. Go have some
Go
fun.
play Risk.
Yeah. Right? Go drink your Russian vodka and, just have a good time, enjoy life instead of trying to destroy other people. So really, 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 really just praying for them. And of course, Americans are feeling, it's hitting us here because it's hitting us at the pumps, and it's ridiculous.
Of course.
That's ridiculous in itself, because it goes back to the same problem we've been dealing with, is that there's no regulation of the oil and gas industry. So there's no capping of them. They're talking about doing what's called a gas holiday. I haven't looked into the full.
I was going to say, what is that? I had not heard that.
I haven't. I didn't get to. It jumped forward
Here,
to commercials and
Google.
I missed it. But we just, this is a problem. Why are we not controlling? This industry still? And so Russia only accounts for 8% of the gas import. We get it from plenty of other places. Canada has an overflow.
Hey, U.S. has gas too, still.
Right. So there's no reason.
There's no reason.
We don't need Russia's gas.
No, we don't.
Or their oil, rather.
Their oil.
The
or
big
gas
problem,
or
let's see.
anything.
So the tax holiday thing is pausing the 18.4 cents per gallon federal gasoline tax won't save consumers much, but it'll cost President Biden's signature infrastructure law a lot. So I'm not going to dig into massive national politics, but go and Google the gas tax holiday and see what it could do for our country, if it's going to help us at the pump, and how will it hurt in other ways or not, and come up with your own opinion from it. I really don't have a full opinion on this whatsoever. Not that my opinion matters, because it's just my opinion. So it's an opinion, right? Everybody has one.
I was just about to say, Mom, yes, I am thinking of the saying.
Anyway, so one of the things that we have been discussing is that it is Women's History Month. Oh my gosh. And so we've highlighted a suffragist yesterday, and we're going to highlight someone who's done some amazing things in history every single day, and also highlight a woman here in Johnson County. So if you've got a woman that you would like to celebrate, whether it's someone from Johnson County history, or it's someone who is here now doing something absolutely amazing, please reach out to us at jococommunityradio.com. Go to the contact page and submit that person that you would like to have featured, this woman that you would like to have featured. And we're always looking for local heroes. So if you have a local hero too that you would like to spotlight on Thankful Thursday, we'd love to learn about her as well, or him, or they. Could be a group. I don't know. So we're going to talk about, I'd like to highlight one amazing female here in Johnson County this morning who's doing amazing things for people. And that is Patty Rooks, who owns The Godly Grind. The Godly Grind Coffee Company is a nonprofit organization located obviously in Godly, Texas. And the cool thing about this is that the Rooks family has been a part of the Godly community for over 15 years, with 19 of their 20, let's say that again, 19 of their 20 children having attended Godly schools. They moved to Godly in 2004 and began doing therapeutic foster care, recognizing the lack of placement families for older teens and siblings groups. In 14 years of fostering, the Rooks family has adopted 18 children of the over 80 they fostered. When you visit the Godly Grind Coffee Company and Bakery today, you will see many of the Rooks children working behind the counters with their mother, Patty. Father Dale can often be found at his favorite table in the corner, chatting with locals or embarking on supply runs for Patty. They do so much more. It goes beyond just it goes beyond just the coffee place. These kids that they've adopted over the years are kids who were aging out of the foster system. And what happens when they age out of the foster system is they usually get lost in the system. So many of them just get kicked to the curb. And the crazy thing is that most of these kids don't know that because they were in the foster system, they get a free ride to college.
Right.
So if you're ever considering foster care, but are concerned about future costs for a child or a child's education, this is something that you get trained on when you become a foster parent. And is that this child, no matter whether they get adopted or not, they get a free ride. They get a free continuing education completely paid for by the government. So things to think about. And this is one of the things that Patty does, and she's super passionate about doing, is making sure that these kids know when they age out that they have options. So one of the things that Patty says is that coffee with a purpose. It may have started with the coffee, our freshly baked pastries, cakes, and homemade food. We've expanded to offer shipping, notary service, meeting place, book club, paint parties, birthday party planning, and much, much more. They're doing so much, and it gives these kids a place to work. They've got a small community ranch housing scenario that they have, where all of these aged out foster care kids can go to live. And they work with other organizations. So we're going to have her back on as a guest so we can talk a little more in depth with everything that she does. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this message.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look.
Miss Dixie,
Look,
how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys.
Hi,
I just
Mom.
wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I would rather have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
Hey,
dude.
nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my
Love you.
girl. I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities.
My mom, love you.
Dixie.
Bye. I love you too.
With Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Joco Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give him a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered. When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson, Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry out, and all your catering needs.
Welcome back to the second half of Joco Vibes here on Joco Community Radio. Joco Community Radio is the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen on the radio, go to tuneinjoco.com and download the free TuneIn app. Or if you're on Android, you can now download the Joco Community Radio app, coming soon to iOS. We are streaming live simultaneously at YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. On LinkedIn, just search for Tiffany Carlen. Right now, I have to move it over to the radio station. On YouTube, and on YouTube, it's Joco Community Radio, and on Twitter, it's Joco TX Radio. All of our shows can also be found on any one of your favorite podcast platforms, such as Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and Spreaker, where we live forever. You can listen to any replay there from any one of our shows. Just search for the show title. Check out our lineup and more on JocoCommunityRadio.com. Thanks for tuning in. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Storms happen. Hail happens, as you know, here in Texas. You've got to have someone ready to fight for you in your corner to make sure your insurance company pays the full amount of your claim, which we know they don't like to do. So reach out to your local Texas sales representative, Nona Reed, at toll-free 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-TEXHAIL. Get her in your corner before the next storm hits. So welcome back to Joco Vibes on this beautiful, thankful Thursday. You know, we started out saying that we were, number one, thankful for the fact that our boots hit the floor again this morning, and it's a beautiful day outside, and it's another day to be alive. I'm thankful for my family and my friends and our communities. This county, Johnson County, is such an amazing group of individuals who really do care for each other and want to make the world a better place in general. And I would say that's the majority of people. So I hope that you do so. There's a runoff. If you were paying attention to the local elections that just happened, we have a couple of runoff elections that are going to be happening on May 24th.
Right.
And that is Andy Nolan and Wes Powell for precinct 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm trying to. Yes.
And Chris Bedecker
for county judge.
Running
Along with
against
John Harmon.
John C. Harmon,
who is not Roger Harmon, who just stepped down from
the position. Yes.
It is not the same gentleman.
It's not the same person. So really important to pay attention to these two runoff elections, and we'll be having the candidates back on the radio in the next coming months until the runoff election. And then also in May, you have another election going on in early May, and that is for the Burleson. There's a city bond election.
Mm-hmm.
And also school board election.
Mm-hmm.
Still waiting on some answers on that.
Yes.
Place 1 and place 2 are up for re-election. Place 1 and Anstey's, but he's not being.
Anstey is place 2.
He's place 2. Okay, so he's not being run against. But
that I know of.
Place 1 is
Sean Miner.
My God, I'm telling you, I have serious problems.
Thank God I'm getting it out because we've been
so Sean Miner is running for the school board to stay on the school board, trustee place 1. I don't know how many exactly terms it's been.
10 years.
It's been.
I don't know how many.
It's been 10 years, but and he does have an opponent, Nona Reed, who's sitting next to me, a 20-year veteran teacher, educator, has actually put her name on the ballot to run. We talked about this in the beginning when she first did it.
Right.
However, the school board has hired an attorney school officials. We don't know exactly who. It just says school officials have used an attorney to reach out to her and say that she filled out the form incorrectly, rather than the school elections administrator assistant who was there when Nona did it, who could have just told her right there that something was in the wrong place. However, she was in the BISD administration office when she applied. And clearly was running for place 1 and is clearly a resident of Burleson, Texas school district. So it's very clear that she should not be denied a name on the ballot, but this is what happens when, and this is not just happening here in Burleson, this is happening all over Fort Worth as well, trying to keep people from running for elected positions on our school boards and within our cities, and this has to stop.
And I have filed back.
Yes, you have.
And I'm waiting on a response. The response should have probably came yesterday, but it still has not come in. So I have a feeling they're trying to play dirty politics. I did work for the school district for 16 years. I'll be honest, when I left fighting with the department head, and it did get ugly during that summer.
But that shouldn't.
And I really think they're trying to pull that in. So we'll see. I mean, I personally left. I was not let go. I left. I wasn't forced to leave. I just, at that time, my grandmother was starting to get very ill also. And I was done. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. She was ruining our department, our great program, and I did not want to sit there and deal with it anymore. So I did walk away. Now it's time for me to start getting loud again.
Well, I mean,
so I have a feeling that's what they're doing, is compiling stuff like that, which I have all my ducks in a row. Dude, go ahead, pull that out, because I have everything that I worked on that summer.
Let's talk about this. Why do you want to run? This is a question, and I think somebody had put it on social media when you made the announcement. Of course, the question is always, why now? Why do you want to run it now, or run against that person? And this isn't about that person.
No,
this is about
not.
you wanting to serve.
Right. I actually, Jimerson and I had, I'd seen him a couple of times since I've left. A little more than a couple times, but a few times I mentioned to him, hey, I'm gonna run for school board. But I just never knew when the time was right. And then I started really thinking harder and harder and harder about it. And then finally it was just, God said, I don't know how many more clues I got to give you, lady. Do this. So I put my name in, and I'm not going to joke around. It was scary, because it's going to cause issues. And look, I'm here to serve the teachers, the parents, and the students. That's what a school board is supposed to do. And if me wanting to do that is causing some uproar, then the uproar needed to be done, I guess.
But this isn't an uproar.
Well, I think sooner or later
but it's not what you're looking for.
No, it's not.
I mean, you put your name in. You want to serve the school district. You want to serve the teachers and the parents. I'm not trying to speak for you, but I just know we've had this in-depth conversation multiple times. And you said even at the Project U, when you ran into the superintendent, he brought that up to you. I know you've been wanting to run for quite a while. So it shouldn't be a surprise that
therefore
that
you acknowledged you knew I was applying what position I was applying for. So who's the BISD officials? That's my take. I want to know who that is.
More so the question is, why would you try and block someone? This was such an easy fix.
I know.
This was such an easy fix. So, the official who swore you in right there literally could have said, hey, that's not where your name goes. It goes down here. You might want to fix that really quick.
Right.
Easily could have done that. In fact, the attorney's letter even said so. This could have been an easy fix, but it was too close to even if it was at the deadline, you could have called her on Monday or sent an email and said, hey, we just need to fix your form really quick so you can run. But instead,
they can't, because
that's crap. That's a lie.
It's a lie.
That is a lie. That's a lie. We know other local elections officials who have done this for real political positions, and it's a simple fix. So this is just blatant. The fact that the school district wasted tax dollars with an attorney.
100%. I'm like,
you wasted tax dollars with an attorney just to stop someone from running. But guess
taxpayers
what?
Should be upset about this.
If you don't put her name on the ballot, she's going to run as a write-in anyway. And it's just going to get even louder. So decide what you want to do.
I mean, we've already had people say, I'll just write your name in.
Right. So anyway, I don't know. We were talking elections.
Well,
so
it is History Month too. Women's History Month.
It is Women's History Month. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to give you a little bit of history. How about now? And put my glasses on.
A little of my history.
Yeah.
I gave a little of my history.
Yeah, but I think that's important for people to know. I mean, this isn't,
and we were, we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it's past the due date and we haven't heard anything.
So I do want to say that I had something to say, and I wanted to say that I have something to say, but I can't remember what it was that I was going to say. It did. So I mean, we could totally come back to that.
You could totally scroll back to that.
I totally can. I totally can. So
but yes, I've already been out talking to parents, teachers, students. There's a lot of stuff that parents are very upset about and they feel like they're being ignored. So
okay. More to come.
I am helping them work on where they need to go, the avenues they need to go. And to me, that's the job of the school board. I'm sorry.
There's a very long, lengthy description of what the job is of.
And parents should have every access and know when school board meetings are happening. And I'm hearing a lot of they won't tell us when.
Well, it's listed on.
It's not listed as it just says like, well, I don't even know if it says that. It doesn't get put on. The actual date doesn't get put on until like the week before or something. But
there's a section that says there's specific. There's a specific. You can.
I missed it then.
Okay.
I knew I had the information to give them. But I thought when you went to that, it just shows past agendas.
No.
Maybe I was looking in the wrong spot.
No, it gives it
Kind
does
of
give a, because I
since then.
shared it. I already shared that when the school board meetings are
Okay.
for Burleson. Actually, I shared.
You shared all the Johnson
No,
County,
it wasn't
didn't you?
it wasn't the meetings for each school board. It was where to get help with the bullying issues.
Oh, yeah.
What the policies are and what the protocol is on how to get help from your school district on that. So, but anyway, while
No.
you're
No, look, there's no meeting dates. It's just the dates that have already been met.
there is a different calendar, I promise you.
Um,
It lists it on.
There's board members, meeting minutes, agenda, and posting notices, board meeting video archives, which usually go in a week later. So why aren't we doing live? Board policy manual and trustee election.
It is on.
It should be right here. It should not be a let's go and look for it in 50 different places.
Right.
I mean,
well, I'm searching it in a different way to see.
And
if
why is
comes
it so hush hush?
Yeah.
Why doesn't the whole city of Burleson know that we have a Burleson school board election coming on?
Because
they want the same people on there.
It's very possible. It's very possible. I'm going to look at that really quick. Okay. So in the meantime, while we're looking some of the stuff up, I want to tell you about some women in Texas history. 1900 to 1945. This is women in Texas history. 15% of all Texas women are in the paid labor force. The Black illiteracy rate dropped statewide from 75.4% in 1880 to 38.2%. That's a huge growth in education right there for the African American population here in Texas. That's big. Texas leads the South in the number of Black high schools. This is again between 1900 and 1945. This is actually in 1900. Joanna Willem, the sheep queen of West Texas, owns 10,000 sheep in Maynard, or is it Menard? I don't know how they say it here, and McCullough counties, more than any other Texas woman. Artist Emma Cherry Richardson and 4 other women formed the Houston Public School Art League to promote art and culture in public schools. It later becomes the Houston Art League, instrumental in the founding of the Houston Museum of Fine Arts. Houston and San Antonio telephone operators strike, protesting long work days. Now, we know Houston, San Antonio telephone operators were women. That was all women. In 1900, the 9 Littman sisters of Austin stripped tobacco leaves from the stems to make cigars for their father's business. Austin women give chair socials and laundry equipment fairs to help furnish Samuel Houston College for Blacks. Awesome.
Yes.
1900 to 1910, Texas ranks 3rd in the number of lynchings. Okay, this is crazy. Texas ranks 3rd in the number of lynchings as mobs kill more than 100 Blacks. That's so sad.
It is very
sad that this was still going on. 1901, teacher and political activist Juana Gutierrez de Mendoza begins publishing the newspaper Vesper, Justicia y Libertad, in opposition to the Mexican dictatorship of Porfirio Diaz. Minnie Fisher Cunningham is one of the first women to earn a pharmacy degree from the University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston. Mary Wade prints the Dallas Express for Black readers. Mrs. G.M. Turley is chief of the women's department for the Colored Fair in Dallas. This is in 1901. There's a long list here, so I'm not going to read every single one of them, but we're going to highlight some of them, which I think is just so amazing. In 1902, a state law requires payment of a poll tax to vote. Mrs. L.P. Carlisle becomes the first woman office holder in Texas appointed to succeed her husband as Hunt County Clerk. Wow, that's pretty awesome. The Married Ladies Social Art and Charity Club is organized in Houston for Black women. Texas Federation of Women's Clubs President Anna Pennybacker, along with University of Texas librarian Benjamin Which, organizes the Texas Library Association with the goal of establishing a state library commission and a system of free traveling libraries. That's interesting.
Very.
More? Would you like to know a little bit more? I'm not quite sure I like how this website list them, I don't feel like it highlights the women,
Mhm.
specifically for the big things. So I might do a little more digging through here. In 1911, Jovita Idar is elected president of La Liga Femenil Mexicanista in Laredo, organized at El Primer Congreso Mexicanista, the first statewide Mexican-American civil rights meeting. La Liga supports education for women. Women open escuelitas for Tejano youth, all through her, Jovita Idar. So that's interesting. I want to know more about her.
Yeah.
The Priscilla Art Club, Dallas's oldest Black women's club, is organized. Elizabeth Howard West is named the state's first archivist. Baptist teacher Eliza Davis Taylor helps found a mission school in Liberia. Jessie Daniel Ames and her mother, Laura Maria Daniel, own and operate the telephone company in Georgetown. So it seems like women were really starting to come into their own. Let me tell you a little bit more about Jovita Idar. She was an organizer, writer, and advocate of Mexican-American women's rights. In 1911, Idar and her family organized a conference in Laredo in support of unions, criminal justice, women's rights, and bilingual education. She founded La Liga Femenil Mexicanista, whose first project was to provide free instruction for poor Mexican children. She wrote for La Crónica and El Progreso, Spanish language newspapers that condemned violence against Mexican Americans of South Texas. In 1917, she moved to San Antonio, where she started a free kindergarten and was active in the Democratic Party and Methodist Church. Wow, she's done a lot. She goes on. She is one of 8 children. She grew up in Laredo, and she was one of 8 children of parents who published the La Crónica and the Spanish language newspaper that exposed segregation, lynching, and other injustices endured by Mexican Texans in the early 20th century. She trained to be a teacher, but frustration with her inability to improve her students' poor conditions propelled her to write for the newspaper and try to affect social change. That's how you make change.
Yes.
She got loud. She spoke up.
Yeah.
And began reporting on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
that's kind of,
that's when people start to not like you, just letting you know.
I know.
When you start to shake the sugar tree, and you don't get just sugar coming out of it. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. So, interesting. I'm pulling some other stuff up while I'm doing this. So I'm scrolling, looking at the thing.
Yeah. And, you look back at these women, if they would have just, the first time they got resistance, if they'd have backed down, some of these things would have never been possible for us.
Oh my gosh, if you look
You
at
can't back down.
if you go all the way back to the suffragist movement, like if we were talking about Susan B. Anthony yesterday, if these women had just, curled up and said, I give
Right.
in, I give up, would women have ever gotten the right to vote?
No, I know.
How long would that have
Or-
went on if the suffragist movement hadn't begun at all? I mean, I think at
it sometimes it'd be easier just to kind of shut up and stay quiet.
right.
But nothing's ever going to get done.
Right. But they did, and we're so thankful for them for doing all of that. So, because it just put us into the positions we're in today.
Yes.
And so thank you.
Yeah.
On this Thankful Thursday,
look,
to
we
all
can-
the women
we
who are
can
still
own our-
stepping up.
We can own our own land, our own house, have our own credit card.
It's
we
just-
can vote.
just totally crazy. So I'm pulling up one of these women. So I'm going to give you another woman from history from the suffragist time. Carrie Chapman Catt, Nay Carrie Lane, born January 9th, 1859 in Wisconsin, and she died in 1947 in New Rochelle, New York. American feminist leader who led the women's rights movement for more than 25 years, culminating in the adoption of the 19th Amendment for women's suffrage to the U.S. Constitution in 1920. I want to say this. You do not have to be a liberal or a feminist in order to understand and respect and appreciate what these women did to liberate and fight for women's rights. across the board. And this affects all women, no matter what your politics are or what your faith is. It affects all of us. And these women did amazing things, and they came from all walks of life, and they were not all liberal. There are half of them were conservative. In fact, they had broken off into their own group, but then they all came back together because it makes more sense to be together and united in order to make stuff happen. That's what you have to do to make things happen, is come together. So Carrie Lane graduated in 1880, and after a short time spent reading law, became a high school principal in Mason City, Iowa in 1881. 2 years later, she was appointed superintendent of schools, one of the first women to hold such a position. Her first marriage in 1884 to Leo Chapman, an editor, ended with his untimely death in 1886. From 87 to 90, she devoted herself to organizing the Iowa Women's Suffrage Association. Her marriage to George W. Catt, an engineer, in 1890 was unusual in its prenuptial legal contract, providing her with 4 months of free time each year to work exclusively for women's suffrage.
Wow.
George Catt encouraged and supported his wife's dedication until his death in 1905, at which time he left her financially independent to devote the rest of her life to reform activities. That's an amazing man right there. As an organizer, Catt was highly effective. In 1900, she was elected to succeed Susan B. Anthony as president of the National American Women's Suffrage Association, NAWSA. She resigned the presidency in 1904 to care for her ailing husband. Between 1905 and 1915, Catt recognized the NAWSA along political district lines. By then an accomplished public speaker, she served as the group's president from 1915 until her death. In the meantime, she trained women for direct political action and marshaled seasoned campaigners. And she is quoted to say, "In the adjustment of the new order of things, we women demand an equal voice. We shall accept nothing less." I love it. There's more on her, and we'll dive deeper into her tomorrow. I'm sorry, on Tuesday. No, well, it'll be you on Tuesday.
Yes.
I will not
Callie's
be here.
here.
Callie Crow is going to be joining you at the table. She's got a show that's going to be starting here on Joco Community Radio, and she's going to talk all about it. It's called Drew's 27 Chains, and it has to do with Narcan, drug abuse, drug addiction, the stigmas to all of it, mental health awareness, all the healthcare and everything that comes with it. But before we go, did you know in 1868, Reverend John Collier was president of the Alvarado College. Assistants were Mrs. Fanny Blair, Maggie Wills, Kate Ligon. Molly E. Moore was the music teacher, and Sam R. Frost taught penmanship and bookkeeping. There you go. Something to take with you about Alvarado, Texas, another piece of Johnson County history. So we thank you guys for joining us this week. Be sure to keep watch of what we've got going on our Facebook page. Our website is being updated right now. But check out Facebook for more news, information about school board meetings, the school board elections, and the bond election here in Burleson, and what's going on in the rest of Johnson County. Have an amazing weekend. We love you. Be blessed.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider